WNJC 1360 AM, talking about real estate. Location. That's what I keep hearing. Well, we have one of New Jersey's most powerful people in real estate, Michelle Pais. Hope I got you. Did I get your last name right, Michelle?
Yes, you did. Hi.
I did?
How are you?
Oh, wow, I get points. Crowned the Barbara Corcoran. Wow, that's saying something in New Jersey by Bella Magazine. New Jersey Biz 40 Under 40 award winner. Circle of Excellence, multi-platinum award recipient, named one of 100 most influential real estate agents nationwide by Real Estate Executive Magazine, a broker for more than 1,500 homes sold. Michelle Pais excels at many facets of the real estate business. I could spend another hour talking about her resume. Clearly, Michelle brings a ton to the table, and we're fortunate to have her here on Greenberg News. Michelle, welcome.
Thank you so much. So happy to be here. Thanks for the invite.
Well, my pleasure. So I got to ask you, you know, clearly you've defined yourself in the real estate sector. It's coming alive again. I was talking earlier. I'm seeing like the flipper side. Those people are coming alive. What's your thermometer on where real estate is today, say compared to the bubble blowout of 10 years ago?
We are in a hot market. I was recently telling my team the other day, it feels like I am back in 2005, where homes are selling like hotcakes. We barely put a for sale sign out, and you're seeing homes sell very quickly with often multiple offers selling for higher than listing price. We have too many buyers, and we don't have enough inventory, which is always a good problem to have, I guess. So we are in a seller's market. Interest rates are very low, and buyers are taking advantage of them. So we are really in a hot market. I'm very excited, and we're busy. We're very busy.
So now, this is what markets? You're seeing this throughout New Jersey? Is this nationwide, or where are you seeing this kind of bubbling of activity?
Well, I work primarily, I'm in New Jersey, so I do all of New Jersey, and in the New Jersey market, we cover all the way from Bergen County all the way to down the shore. So our team just focuses on the entire Garden State, and we're seeing this in every town. We're seeing this in higher end homes. We're seeing this in first time home buyer market. We're seeing this in condos. We're seeing this in townhomes. So it's just we're seeing this everywhere, and it's just been exciting. Very, very fortunate.
So now, what do you think is driving that demand? Is it a better economy? Is it low interest rates? Well, low interest rates have been there for a while, so I can't think it's that. You tell me. What do you think it is?
Well, a couple of things. I do think we do have the interest rates are definitely a driving factor, but I also think that we just happen to be in the season right now, and I always tell people that the best time to sell any piece of real estate is in the winter. And the reason why is because there's not that many homes that are for sale. Most homeowners have the idea that the spring market is the best time to sell any piece of real estate. So with that, homeowners tend to just put it up in the spring. So what happens in the winter market? There's not that much inventory. Therefore, the demand is so high. So right now, we're still in the winter months. It's still cold out, and you're not. The inventory isn't there. So that's driving buyers to just want to buy homes. There's no inventory. Now there's also talks of interest rates going up several times throughout the year, and I do think that the buyers are getting ready. And so those that have been on the fence sitters, as we call them, they're out and they're trying to get closed because they know that around the corner there may be that peak in interest rates. So I think fear maybe also plays an important factor in this case.
Yeah, I think you really hit on a key point. It's for a long time rates have been low, but the shakeout since Trump got elected has really been significant. They pulled back some, but I would think that you're right that it's the fear that if rates are going to move up in earnest shortly, you better get in now because borrowing costs are everything when you buy a house.
Absolutely.
Yeah, have rates slowed down? What kind of impact have they had already on the cost of borrowing? Is it dramatic yet, or just or minimal?
It's minimal. They went up about 1/4 of a point, and so it's nothing substantial. But I do think that if they're going to keep going up, that will absolutely impact the buyer's capability of finding something in a higher price range. So I think that that will be significant depending on the increase.
So now that you've kind of laid the groundwork, I'm just curious. I give you a lot of credit. How old were you when you started your own company?
I started the business 16 years ago. I'm 37 years old, so I was 21 and a half starting the business. But I started my own firm. It's going on its 7th year. So I was 30 years old when I opened up Signature Realty.
Wow. So now how big is your firm now?
We have 55 agents, and we're growing. So 55 and counting, and it's been great. It's this year really was, I would say, marked the peak. I took when I started the business 6 years ago, I had an idea and I had a vision, and it's really starting to come to fruition. And we're growing, and we're opening up other offices, and we're doing more business in different market shares and different markets, I should say. And it's just been great. It really has. I'm very blessed. Well,
you're being very humble, and of course I think that's a part of why that attributes a big part of your success. But you started out 6-7 years ago, and it was just you, right? As far as going on your own, or did you have other people with you?
I had a partner, and it was him and myself at the time, and we just, I had a vision, but it's tough to really implement all your ideas when you have a partner, because you're very limited to what you can and can't do, right?
Yes.
So it's almost having to ask for permission in a sense. So I made the bold move in 2016 to just take the company on full time. So I am the only owner now, and since then I've made a lot of changes. I rebranded the company, and I'm just taking it to a different level. And so to answer your question, I started off with someone, and now we are a team of 55.
Well, that says a lot. And actually, I work with business owners by day. I run a CPA firm, and I'm not surprised, given your energy and your determination, that ultimately you went on your own, because I'm sure he couldn't keep up. And I know you're being kind as to why you parted, but knowing you and knowing your work ethic and where you wanted to take it, it became, probably, for better word, just a lack of communication, or a lack of kindred spirits, and so that's interesting. So now you brought it, you rebranded it as Signature. To what was the purpose in rebranding? What did you want to promote?
Well, it was still Signature. So the rebranding was just more of I focused on who my ideal client was and who I wanted to attract, and that would be the luxury market. And I needed to, when I did my rebranding, I had that ideal client always in mind. Now, we do business. We work with first-time home buyers all the way to multi-million-dollar sellers and mansions that we represent. So we cover all of it. We cover investors. We work with developers. But the rebranding was just really giving it a new image, and the image now is it's very innovative. One of the reasons why I decided to open up the firm, I used to work for a firm prior to, and I didn't like the cookie cutter traditional corporate structure that's often parallel to the big corporate companies. I didn't like the feel. I didn't like the structure, the old school way of doing business. So I wanted to do something very different. And I am someone that's a creator. I'm an innovator, and that's what I do all day long. I'm constantly thinking of new marketing and branding techniques to differentiate myself from my competition. And I couldn't do that working under a different brand. I had a saying, it's pretty funny, but I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel. I'm just trying to put some rims on it. So there you go. That's the purpose of the rebranding.
But knowing you, there's not just little basic rims. It is efficient, elite. It's cutting edge. It's everything, and to make you stand out. And now, one thing I really give you credit for, in the real estate industry, realtors are their own breed of people, as I'm sure you know all too well. How do you build an agency and find 55 people who share your vision and work ethic? Of course, not to the extreme you do, but they're 80%, which is more than most.
Right. So here's my goal. My vision is not to be the largest real estate brokerage out there, but it is to be the best. And I find that most real estate companies will hire anybody. So you are fresh out of real estate school, you have a pulse, you have a job. And that is the complete opposite of what we have here. We are very selective in our hiring process, and I pride myself on the culture. Our culture is our biggest strength. And I make it a point that all of my team members have a voice, and we all share very similar qualities. We are dedicated, we are loyal, we are ethical, we are hardworking, we're very pleasant to be around, and we're just extremely entrepreneurial. So I rather have a smaller team of very similar qualities and like-minded individuals than have a big team where it's just the culture is off. And that's, what sets us apart, really. And the people that are on here, I can proudly say that we all share very similar, strengths and qualities. It's just, most companies aren't nimble. They're just giants with no flexibility for change. So, people that have, like myself, an entrepreneurial side need to be heard and be part of the growth process. So I make it a point that everyone on my team has a voice, and it's heard. And that's how we're growing.
Input is great. Now, how do you capture the customer? How do you, because that's, and I can see you're doing something right, because the successful companies, no matter what industry and line and so forth, have captured what their customer wants and are constantly in tune with their customer needs. What do you do to capture that?
Well, a lot of the business actually that we have comes from referrals. So we do marketing. We're extremely innovative, and people see that. They see the difference. They, when they interview myself or someone on my team, they can automatically just tell the difference. So we like to be innovators, and we're very cutting edge, and we like to stay, abreast of current market trends. And so the client sees that. Either it's through, a simple yard sign that's completely different than other brokerages, or, through our online marketing or through our social media. But at the end of the day, the clients, the ones that do work with us and that know us well, know that, we always have their best interest at heart. And we fight for them on their behalf until, we're all the way to the finish line. And then the reviews. We have amazing reviews, and they're all from satisfied clients, and we take a lot of pride in our service. That's probably one of the most important things, and something that you'll, if you experience working with myself or my team, our service is just impeccable, and that's something I take a lot of pride on.
Yeah, you know what? I think you really nailed it, because I've heard too often where, let's say a realtor is, let's say you're $10,000 apart between the buyer and the seller. And for the realtor, they're going to get almost the same commission, in the end of the day. And rather than looking at the best interest of the buyer, they're more looking for the best interest of themselves. And the fact that you're getting those kinds of reviews from, the public indicates that what's number one, and what you make is secondary. And, and that's key, and you're willing to stand up for your clients.
Absolutely. And that is something that we are. It's really not about the commission check here. It's not. It's about doing the right thing. And believe me when I tell you that when you have a raving fan, from that you will get a lot more referrals. So you need to focus on your clients, and you need to do good by your clients, and success will happen. So it's all about the way you treat people the way you want to be treated. And that's something that, I really pride myself on. So, yeah, so it's interesting that you said that, but, I would say the public perception is probably of that of realtors, and this is, we are the complete opposite.
So I got to ask you, Michelle, you've really taken this by storm here. What's your next step?
We are growing in so many different ways and directions. We're in the process of opening up other brokerages, other offices, across the state. We have a reality show that we're working on, which I'm excited about, and my team's excited about. and we are.
By the way, if you need a host for that show, I'm available.
You're available.
I'm available. Absolutely, that's what I do. You need someone to bring out the best in your people there. That's what I do well. I'm applying for your job.
Okay, well, we have to talk after this interview. You and I will stay on the line.
Absolutely. Well, not after this segment because I still a show left to do. But definitely, my piece will contact your piece. We will be in touch. I got some ideas for you. Absolutely.
Awesome. Look at that. But yeah, so we have a lot of exciting things going on. We're also in the middle of opening up a commercial division here. So yeah, I barely get any sleep anymore, but it's so exciting, and we're excited. We're very excited.
Well, Michelle, I give you a lot of credit. I love your energy. I love what you're doing and what you've built. And it's not just that you're serving people the right way, which is clearly the most important thing, and you're doing that well. But you built an organization from nothing, and you brought in the right kind of people, and that's the way to be. And I can tell, while you work with who walks in the door, you want to serve people right, so they're treated right, and that goes a long way. And you just keep doing what you're doing, Michelle.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
Michelle Pais, go check out Signature, coming to a location near you, anywhere in Jersey. I'm waiting for national, even though that's the next step, but we'll talk later about that.
That's next year.
Next year, right. This year is Jersey. Hey, Michelle, thanks. Got to roll. Appreciate you coming on my show. Continue great success.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. And that wraps up this segment of Greenberg News. We're going to take a brief break. Right back after these messages.
Philadelphia's Renaissance radio station.